Welcome to the Sports World 1869, a world so large you're a part of it whether you know it or not. Week 6 has just happened, and we're going to talk about it in the 6th edition of the Week of Review. So this week, two great players, probably future first-round Hall of Famers, Miguel Cabrera and Adrian Beltre, both hit 400 home runs. And for Miguel Cabrera, he passed Andres Galarraga for the most home runs by a player born in Venezuela. And Adrian Beltre, of course, reaching 400 is a very exciting thing for him. Already going to be a Hall of Famer, but like I said, it helps a lot. Clayton Kershaw finally got 100 wins. And I say finally because it seemed like every start something went wrong to ruin it. And he was playing against some bad teams, so I was kind of confused as to why it was taking so long. But Kershaw got the win. Some notable injuries to talk about is, first off, Devin Travis and Shane Green could be hurt for a while. Sean Marshall, who was the former reliever of the Cubs, was traded to the Reds for Travis Wood, is recently hurt, and he's getting a second shoulder injury, so if you had any thought of him coming back, probably not the case. This is also his last year on his contract, so he's probably out of there. Also, Hudson Street of the Angels was extended. I'm a little surprised because the Angels are doing alright, and I think Hudson Street could have gotten traded to a more competitive team during the All-Star break, but he wanted to get extended, and he is his own agent. He doesn't have someone representing him, so he himself agreed to do this, so I hope for his sake it was the right move. But the Angels aren't playing that well, so we'll see how things go. Alright, now that the updates are over, it is time for the awards of the week. And as we know, we always give the award for the best starter of the week, and the nominees are... There was so much good pitching performance this week, so there's actually a lot of people on the list for being the best as opposed to being the worst, which is always a good thing. Anyhow, the nominees are Anibal Sanchez, Corey Kluber, Aaron Harang, Raciel Iglesias, Jose Quintana, Max Scherzer, CC Sabathia, John Lester, James Shields, Garrett Richardson, Wandy Rodriguez, it's kind of a silly name, and Chris Young. And the winner goes to Corey Kluber because he took a no-hitter to the 8th inning. He struck out 18 guys, something you don't see often because pitchers don't last that long anyways, and because hitters, or I should say pitchers, are not that good to begin with. But Kluber struck out 18 Cardinals, which was very impressive, so he gets it. A lot of good bounce-back performances this week, and you saw I put John Lester and CC Sabathia, two guys who have been struggling, and they're finally getting on the winning side of things, so that's important to note. And guys like Max Scherzer, well, you know he was good. Also, John Dakes and Quintana also had great bounce-back starts, so something very important to note, which is why I put them on here as well. And like I said, a lot of these pitchers have been having really bad starts lately, but this week, a lot of good performances out there. And unfortunately, not so good performances, as we also have the worst starter of the week. And you're going to see some of the same names because, unfortunately, these guys still have not figured out yet, and in my opinion, probably never will. The nominees are Matt Latos, Danny Salazar, Despaigne, R.A. Dickey, Jason Marquis, Jeff Samardzija, Chris Tillman, Steven Strasburg, and Danny Duffy. And the winner is Steven Strasburg. The only reason why he gets it above these other bad pitchers is because he was the #1 pick of the draft, the very first. And for some reason, he has not pitched well to that name. The other guy, by the way, ironically, who has pitched well and was the first-round pick was Garrett Cole. He's actually picking it up. He's playing to his potential. And Strasburg is going in the opposite direction right now, and I'm kind of confused about that, especially since the Nationals just put Doug Fister on the DL, and they really need their starting rotation to be the powerful, or say powerhouse that people thought it was going to be. And with Strasburg having bad starts, and Zimmerman, you don't know what you're getting, to be honest, and same with Gio Gonzalez, there's not much stability other than Max Scherzer, which is why it's important he's still having good starts. But Strasburg has got to pick it up. The rest of the pitchers on here are bad by default, so no one's thinking, yeah, maybe they should get it. No. Steven Strasburg is the worst pitcher of the week, and the number 2 guy if I had to pick would be Jason Marquis. He shouldn't be starting at all. Period. Best reliever of the week, the nominees are Hudson Street, Aurelius Chapman, Luke Gregerson, Jason Grilli, Glenn Perkins, Andrew Miller, and I'm giving it to Glenn Perkins of the Minnesota Twins. And the reason why is because the Twins right now, after all the hate I've given them, and probably everybody in the sports world, I remember seeing interviews of people saying that anybody in the Central could win that division except for the Twins. So the fact the Twins are winning, they're above 500, they got a great record. A good closer helps, and I've noticed teams with good closers seem to be higher in the standings than those who do not, and that's why Perkins is on here, because he's helping a team that no one expected to do anything, do something. And that's also why Grilli's on here as well, for the same reason. But I'm giving it to Perkins, because I already gave it to Grilli. I'll just say for Grilli, he's still saving games. We're about a month and a half in the season, and he's still doing well, so that's very important for the Braves, as well as baseball, so be aware of that. Worst reliever, I have only 2 guys, but arguably there were a lot of blowouts this week, so you could pretty much put anybody, but I have Seth Maness or Sammy Solis, and I'm going to give it to Seth Maness. But arguably, there were so many blowouts this week, a lot of bad relief performances, and I've noticed that lately, that many starters are having good outings, but the relievers are not, especially guys like Aaron Loop for the Blue Jays, and like I said, Seth Maness for the Cardinals, and really every team has that one guy that comes out there and ruins the game. It won't be Kevin Gregg anymore because he's off the team. Thank you. But still something important to note. The best home run, I said, as soon as I saw that home run that Stanton hit out of Dodger Stadium, I said that's probably going to be the home run of the week. Because nothing I've seen before or even after was as impressive until I saw Stanton hit 478 in a hard part of the Marlins Stadium to hit out of, and he got it to second deck in the right side. It was really impressive to see. He really pulled it hard. But I'm still going to say the best home run of the week was Stanton's home run that hit out of Dodger Stadium. He's only one of 4 players to do that, and I think that's very impressive to do that in general, hitting a ball out of a stadium, because in general a lot of players I've seen hit home runs out of stadiums during batting practice, but doing it during a game, it's impressive nonetheless. And Stanton he hit a lot of home runs this week, so pick any you want, but the one out of Dodger Stadium is probably the best home run of the week. Best hitter of the week. And by the way, before I give out the nominees, you're going to hear some of the same names because these guys are still doing it, which is very impressive. Anyhow, nominees are D. Gordon, Adrian Gonzalez, Paul Goldschmidt, Miguel Cabrera, Giancarlo Stanton, Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Michael Brantley, Anthony Rizzo, and Nelson Cruz. And the winner goes to Giancarlo Stanton. For all the home runs he's hitting, the power and the RBIs he's providing, he's getting up there in the statistics. Harper and Nelson Cruz are leaving him in the dust, but he's catching up. And that's why I put Harper on here as well, because Harper has 13, 14 home runs. He's finally hitting the way Nationals were hoping he was going to when they picked him up originally. And the thing about Harper, he's so young, even now, and he's smashing the ball. And Chris Bryant has been pretty good since they got him. Or I should say, when he was called up, he's drawing a lot of walks. The Cub announcers think he leads the league in most pitches seen, although I thought Matt Carpenter is in that category. But it's possible he's up there. He is drawing a lot of walks. Of course, he has Rizzo and Castro in the lineup, so that probably helps a lot. But regardless, he definitely is having a great week. And he just started, by the way, so yeah, it's one of those type of things. Nelson Cruz is still smashing the ball hard. Hasn't hit a long ball in a while, but he's still helping his team out a lot. And the Mariners could use all the help they can get. Miguel Cabrera is on fire, and I think next week he'll probably get hitter of the week if he keeps playing at this pace. He's hitting home runs left and right. Like I mentioned, he got 400, which broke Andres Galarraga's current hold on most home runs by a Venezuelan player. His hold on most home runs by a Venezuelan-born player. So Miguel Cabrera is on fire, and I think it's just great how all the hitting is coming together. Still waiting, though, on some people to bust out, and I'm going to say that in the worst hitters of the week. The nominees are Jason Worth, Chase Utley, Jay Bruce, Jose Bautista, Albert Pujols. I'm giving the Jay Bruce for several reasons. One reason that really pissed me off is towards the end part of the season, I'm talking 2014, he said, "I cannot wait for the season to end. You take that any way you want, so I can go back home," or whatever he said, "to practice my hitting and do better than I did this year." We're a month and a half in the season. Bruce is not 200. His average is not 200. He's not hitting many home runs. He's not really doing anything, Bruce. He's got a zillion strikeouts, and the rate he's going, he's going to have a zillion more strikeouts. I don't see the improvement. I get very angry when players say during the offseason that I'm going to improve, I'm going to get better, and they don't do it. It's what Ryan Lowick said last year, and Bruce said this year, and I'm sick of players lying to your face telling you, "Yeah, I trained hard to get better," and then the season starts and you don't know what happened to that guy who used to hit 30 home runs, driving 100 RBIs. You know what happened to him, and Jay Bruce is one of those guys where I don't know what happened to him. Albert Pujols, Worth, and Utley are old and injured and flimsy, so I'm not expecting much of them. Bruce is 27. That's not acceptable. And unfortunately, the way this season is going, it looks like Jay Bruce is going to have many more nominations for this award. It is nice, though, that Marlon Byrd was not on it this week. But next week is a whole nother week, so we'll see how that goes. There is no jerk of the week because technically nothing happened that was that devastating in terms of fighting. Although you could say Bryce Harper, he was kicked out of a game, so maybe he's the jerk of the week. More like the weirdo of the week, but not so much jerk of the week. There really wasn't much in that department, so there really is no jerk of the week this week, which is a good thing. Because obviously it means there's more peace in baseball than there has been. Although I will say that a potential nominee could be Orbit because he tripped one of the people running in the race, but that was probably more comedy than being a jerk. But arguably Orbit would probably get it, even though I do like the mascot. That was kind of a jerkish move to do. So that concludes the 6th edition of the Week of Review. If you liked the video, please throw some heat at the like button. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section below so you can chat with the entire world of sports. Take care.